What's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. So we are out here on the cruise ship right now, and we just got done with St. Lucia. You can kind of see it all the way back there. This cruise ship's Holland, man. We're going how many knots? I don't even know.
No idea.
But what did we do today?
We got down and dirty, had a mud and mineral bath, and a volcano sulfur spray.
Yeah, for her dirty 30. And we're going to be getting into the video talking about the top altcoins that are going to make millionaires this full run cycle. We're not talking about just tiny gains. We're talking about generational wealth here, because I know we get asked all the time. I get asked all the time. For those of you guys that reach out to me on Instagram, Run Life Nick, you guys are asking me what altcoins am I bullish on. I'm going to be sharing them with you in this video. Specifically, what I want to get into is the charts, and I want to show you where they're at on the charts. I want to show you what's happening on the macro market cycle, and I want to show you guys, how to back up the truck and grab your putter and just tap it in. If you want to grab the driver and you want to tee it off all the way out to sea, take the like button and do that right now. Just tibbity, tap it in. Do it for grandma. We're beating the SEC and we're buying our house back with cryptocurrency. So what do they need to do right now if they're feeling bullish?
Comment 777 if you're feeling bullish.
If you're feeling blessed, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So let's dive right in, because with the current market cap of the whole industry sitting at $1.7 trillion, the amount of money that is going to flow into this industry over the next 2 to 7 years is going to blow people's minds. There's going to be more millionaires made than ever before. And I know that might sound like, a pipe dream. We say that a lot, but that's been happening over the past decade. And in the macro, these markets in the crypto market move based on Bitcoin, which I'm going to be talking about towards the end of this video. But all of these altcoins have been moving in conjunction with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin does well, the altcoins are doing well. As you guys can see, Ethereum has been doing well the past 7 days. Solana been doing well. XRP kind of hovering there. Cardano's doing well. Avalanche is doing well. Dogecoin hovering there. Tron, Chainlink, etc. And so we're going to be diving into these projects in this video. And the main thing that we need to look at is this cheat sheet here, because this talks about the ISO 222 compliant projects, and there's quite a few on this list that I have in today's video to talk about. And then there's some outliers that I think are going to do very, very well that aren't currently on this list. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about project number 1. But first, before I do that, we need to discuss what is ISO 222, because it's the new international standard for financial messaging that provides a common language and structure for the exchange of electronic data between financial institutions and international payment systems like SWIFT. So the goal of ISO is to replace the mundane multitude of different messaging formats and protocols used by various financial systems with a unified and standardized approach. And so by adopting this new standard, what financial institutions will be able to do is allow them to streamline their operations, reducing complexity, improve the accuracy and reliability of data exchange. Because as you guys know, to transact in the banking sector, how much time it takes for ACH, wire transfers, Nostro, Vostro accounts, clearinghouses, all of that stuff. It's just archaic, it's old, it needs to change. It's like flying on an airplane where you had to wear a little hat and those aviator glasses. Now you get to sip your cocktails in first class while you fly over to, another country. And so in the banking industry, SWIFT has been around for 40 plus years, so it has to change. And so the number 1 project that is on the list is XRP, and it's no shock. And I know this will piss a lot of people off, because this hasn't been on a lot of the big content creators lists. They're talking about a lot of projects that are going to get shut down, most likely by the SEC, and gaming projects, artificial intelligence projects that have some promise. They're going to do very well in terms of percentage gains, but in terms of compliance, XRP is one of those projects that is the most safe altcoin in the industry, hands down by far, because they won the lawsuit. No other altcoin has. So that's why XRP is number 1 on today's list. And as you guys know, the key features of XRP, it's fast, it's cheap for cross-border payments. So the XRP ledger can handle up to 1,500 transactions per second. Some people are saying it's much more than that, and they keep improving the ledger. And the uses the cost and energy efficient XRP ledger consensus protocol. So Ripple has established partnerships, guys, with numerous financial institutions, Bank of America, Standard Chartered Bank, HSBC, and tons of others that we've covered on our channel. It's very obvious at this point, the XRP has ties, and these elitists have ties with, Ripple and XRP, and they've been loading their bags up. I mean, this is an old video, but watch this and let me know your guys' thoughts on this.
We do this thing called Sound Ventures. We invest in tech companies. And so we found this very interesting tech company called Ripple that we're going to invest in, right?
Okay, what is Ripple?
So Ripple is basically a platform to allow people to transfer money from bank account to bank account, person to person, really securely, really simply, really quickly, okay? So we found this company, we thought it was really, really interesting, and it runs on this stuff called XRP, which is a cryptocurrency, but basically it's just a way to get value from here to there, okay? So we're meeting with these folks, and they're explaining to us, the people that run it, this guy Chris Larson and a guy named Brad Garlinghouse, and they run it, and they're talking about the ethic of this company and this platform, and how they actually really care about being an ethical company and giving a portion of this platform away to people that are doing good in the world. We talked to Chris and Brad, and we said, there's this amazing human being, and all they ever do is think about other people they can give to. Whether it's in New Orleans, whether it's in Montecito, whether it's the people that come here, the people out there, you're always thinking about everyone else. And we wanted to show you that people are thinking about you. So, on behalf of Ripple, we'd like to give you $4 million. Usually people come out with the big giant check and do the big giant check thing, but we can actually transfer it into Rwandan francs right now, right here. And all we have to do is push this button that's in your account. Do you want to push it? You want me to push it?
I would like to push it. I'd like to push it real good.
Bingo.
So whether you guys like Ellen DeGeneres or not doesn't matter. What matters is that was staged, and obviously they knew that was going to happen before they jumped on set to do that live in front of the audience, and she had to act surprised and all that good stuff. So they're helping the elitists get wealthy, and you guys watching this video right now, understanding how to get wealthy with what the elitists are doing by watching these videos, because we share with you guys behind the scenes what's happening on all these documents, all this paperwork, and all these partnerships. Because Ripple as a company, XRP was created before Ripple, but they're using XRP to grow their company, and they have an ulterior motive, obviously, to grow their company and to get their technology adopted by these banks. But their other motive would be for XRP to grow as well too, because it increases the value of their stash that they would hold in their escrow account. So regardless of price suppression right now, could that arguably be what they're doing to price suppression? Could that arguably be what they're doing to, slow it down so more of their elitist friends could benefit from that? I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts here. But one thing I do know is XRP is the main cryptocurrency that's part of this new plan for the ISO standard. Now, listen to this, which was the FinTech Festival over in India.
We are working with Ripple, XRP, on their CBDC platform, and we are consulting small countries, not like India. So they are very advanced. We are already into the CBDC platform. We are consulting small countries as one of the advisory paper submission and everything on the CBDC, how they can move to CBDC.
Mr. Solomon Ashok, founder Cars FinTech and co-founder and CTO of Accelerate Finance. So please.
We are working with Ripple.
So as these partnerships keep lining up and they keep getting announced almost every single day, it's like there's a new partnership, there's a new bank, there's a new company, announcing some massive stuff with Ripple, while XRP still stays at 51 cents. And so the bigger the base, the larger in space, right? Is the saying, as XRP works its way up on this upward trending support in this macro symmetrical triangle. Now on the daily chart on the left-hand side, you guys can see on the RSI, we're at 42. We just broke out of this descending resistance. And if we get hold above this descending resistance and we don't see a sell-off and a meltdown for Bitcoin, on the day-to-day before Bitcoin's halving, then XRP could rally, and it could rally very, very fast back into this zone of resistance right here, which is roughly 57 to 60 cents towards this downward trending resistance. But in the micro, I don't really care what happens in the micro, because I know in the macro, XRP is gearing up to make a massive move and to melt everyone's faces. And when we draw the Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low of 2020 of COVID, that'd be a $13 or $14 XRP at a 4.236 extension. Now, there's no guarantees that that would happen, because obviously we need to get through Bitcoin's halving, we need to get through the presidential election, and on a much macro scale, the Federal Reserve needs to figure out what they're doing for their interest rates, and if they're going to be cutting, and how rapidly they're going to be cutting, what that's going to break in the economy, and how that's going to affect crypto is anyone's guess. But what we can look at is the charts, and we can see what the charts are showing us. Because if we were to draw from the all-time high to the top of the bull run of 2021, towards this downward trending resistance, that would bring us to a 382 retracement in the short term of about $1.30. We still have yet to see that for XRP. And obviously, as you guys know, with us sitting at 51 cents right now, to go to $1.30, that would be about 150% in the short term for XRP. But I'm not going to be taking any profits on XRP until the end of 2025. That's what I'm preparing for when the end of this bull run cycle is going to come in. Now, the next project is Stellar's XLM. So Stellar is a blockchain-based platform designed for fast and low-cost cross-border transactions similar to XRP. It's like the brother currency, but it's the little brother that has yet to hit its growth spurt. It aims to connect financial institutions serving the unbanked and uses XLM as its native cryptocurrency. So Stellar is focusing on financial inclusion as partnerships with various organizations that are going to serve, the platforms and the companies and the banks that Ripple underserves. And so with its focus on interoperability and connecting financial institutions, Stellar is also well suited to adopt the ISO 222 standard. And by integrating the standard, Stellar can enhance its capabilities to facilitate cross-border transactions, improving communication with traditional financial systems. So similar to XRP, guys, it's fast. It has cheap transactions. It uses a unique consensus mechanism called the Stellar Consensus Protocol. Stellar transactions are cheaper than traditional remittance models, like wire transfers as well. And Stellar can also be used to build decentralized applications as well, too. Now, looking at the chart, XLM is sitting just shy of 11 cents right now. We see this descending resistance right here, this support. If we can hold this support, the next stop for XLM is a 0.236. That's about 24 cents right here. And I would expect us to, stay within this red box that you guys can see on the Fibonacci retracement tool, mostly through 2024 as we work through, the first half of this year. The later half of this year is where I expect the majority of the price action. So this is really a great accumulation year. As you can see, this double bottom trend reversal, bottom number 1 was on the end of December 2022. Bottom number 2 was on the 19th of June of 2023. We can see this neckline right here at roughly 11 cents. We saw this breakout and followed by a back test and another back test right now. So the real question is, if XLM could hold this support, which was the neckline for this double bottom trend reversal that you can see right here, if it can hold this support and we spring out of here, then we could see a relatively big move for XLM, back up to the high of July of 2023 of about 20 cents. Now in the short term, like I said with XRP, I don't really care what happens in the short term. In the long term is what I'm looking for. And what we need to look for in the long term is drawing from the high, the all-time high, to the corrective low. And we see where a 4.236 extension would put us and what would be the best possible cryptocurrency to potentially hold that could give us the most gains and life-changing wealth, right? Generational wealth. And so XLM could be one of those projects. Again, I'm not telling you guys to buy it. I'm not telling you to sell it. I'm just showing you what the charts are telling me and what these key indicators tell us over time. And so to go to a 4.236, that'd be a 2,700% at about $3.17. Now, one thing that was interesting is XRP went upwards of $3 for that 2017-2018 bull run. And XLM hasn't really seen that explosive a bull run. The 2021 bull run was pretty decent. I mean, we went from the COVID lows of almost 3 cents, pulled a 27x, so that's pretty good. So I do think from the low to the high, if we see trillions of dollars, $5 trillion or $10 trillion come into this industry, XLM will absorb a large chunk of that. And I don't see why we couldn't do a $3, which would be a 4,300% from the low. Even from where we are right now, at this support level right here, that's a 27x. So I don't see why that's not possible if trillions of dollars flow in this industry. The next project is HBAR, which is Hedera Hashgraph. It's a distributed public ledger that aims to provide fast, secure, fair decentralized applications, or DApps, and it utilizes a unique consensus algorithm called Hashgraph to achieve consensus among network participants, and it's designed for decentralized applications as well too. By embracing the ISO standard, Hedera can enhance its compatibility with traditional financial systems, which allows for seamless integration with decentralized apps and existing infrastructure. So this move is going to foster trust and adoption of the Hedera network, and that's the reason why Hedera's governing council is so massive with the world's leading organizations like Google. You can see Chainlink Labs, Boeing, you see DLA Labs, UCL, you can see LG, Ubisoft, among many other companies like Dell. And so HBAR has one of the largest governing councils in the world. And so this company, guys, has made these strategic partnerships like Ripple has made. So I don't see why HBAR shouldn't do well. And one thing the chart is showing me is very similar. It's giving strong Ethereum vibes versus the last bull run cycle when Ethereum broke out from $300. As you guys can see right here on the left-hand side of this chart is HBAR sitting about 7 cents. The all-time high for this project is about 57 cents, and we can see this massive neckline, right about 10 cents right here. And so Ethereum, struggled to break above this neckline. When it did, it came back to back test it, and then it broke out from this neckline to form a new all-time high. And so if we were to look at Ethereum on the right-hand side and draw the Fibonacci retracement tool from the high to the low to see what Ethereum did, and we were to zoom out right here, Ethereum pulled, it looked like a 3.618. So Ethereum went upwards of $4,800. So it didn't quite do a 4.236. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, for example purposes only, it doesn't mean this is going to happen. If we were to draw from the high to the low, if HBAR were to just do something similar to a 3.618, that would put it about $2. So from where we are right now to go to $2 once we break this neckline, and obviously this isn't going to happen immediately. I'll show you guys on Ethereum's chart how long this took, but that's a 2,500%, so a 25x for HBAR. So I really think that's possible. Now, how long did that take for Ethereum to break out from this neckline? Well, let's just say when it did break the neckline was back in July of 2020 to the all-time high, that took 469 days. And so if we were to go to this neckline right now, we're not quite at there yet. So arguably, until Bitcoin's halving, let's say April, it's at there. If we were to measure 400 or 500 days, that puts us all the way towards the end of 2025. So it aligns with Bitcoin's 4-year market cycle theory based on the halving. So we're still just getting started, guys. We're just bounced off of the bear market lows. We see this upward trending support right here that HBAR has bounced off of multiple times. So this is a very strong support. Where I would be accumulating more HBAR would be along the support line right here. So if HBAR sees a sell-off with Bitcoin going into the halving, and I would expect a bounce from here, and eventually for us to break this neckline, hold it as support, and then for us to work our way out of here. So anything is possible, in this range right here in the short term this year. So anywhere between 10 cents and 5 cents. So obviously that doesn't give you guys a short-term forecast because it's very difficult to forecast what's going to happen in the short term because of black swan events, mass market sell-offs, unplanned things like FTX type collapses. Although I think FTX collapse was a good thing because not FTX collapse, Binance CZ stepping down. It was a good thing because the markets rallied from that. They needed to get CZ out of the way so they could usher in their regulation. So that's why I'm talking about the ISO compliant projects, because these are the projects that are going to have massive regulation moving forward because they're compliant with the new banking infrastructure. The next one is XDC Network. So it's an enterprise grade blockchain platform that focuses on facilitating global trade and supply chain finance. And it uses the XFin hybrid blockchain protocol and focuses on sectors like finance, supply chain, healthcare, and trade finance. And XDC is the native cryptocurrency used for transactions and governance. And so the key features of the XDC network is it's a hybrid blockchain, meaning that it combines the benefits of both public and private blockchains. It can handle up to 2,000 transactions per second. It's designed to be compliant with regulatory requirements and can be used to track the movement of goods and materials through the supply chain. And if we look at XDC's chart right here, we also see this upward trending support line right here, and it's sitting at it right now at about 4 cents. So if we can hold this, we could expect a break for XDC to the upside. If it doesn't hold it, then it could come all the way back down to 3 cents within this range right here as the next stop of support for XDC. Now, the main neckline that we're looking at right here is about 9 cents. And so if we see a break to the upside, that's going to act as the next resistance as we work our way up, leading in towards the tail end of 2024. The all-time high is about 19 cents, almost 20 cents. And so if I were to draw the Fibonacci retracement, to do a 4.236 is about 75 cents. A 3.618 is about 64 cents. So from where we are right now, let's say a 3.618, that's about a 1,400%, a 14x. To do a 4.236 would be about a 16x. And so although XDC has seen a larger rally than a lot of these projects, I still think that it will do well. And that's a reason why I do hold it in my portfolio. So full disclosure, yes, I do hold these projects in my portfolio because why wouldn't I? If they're the ISO 222 compliant projects, they're making the largest partnerships and they're the most bullish projects from not only the last bull run, but for this upcoming bull run. And their teams are continuing to add on to the utility, the development, the marketing, all of that good stuff. It only makes sense for me to hold them because people that get pissed off when I talk about projects that I hold, well, why would I talk about projects that I don't hold? Why would I talk about stuff that I don't believe in? It makes absolutely no sense. So I know that you understand that. And that's why the next project that I hold in my portfolio is Algorand. So Algorand is a scalable, secure, and decentralized blockchain platform designed for both financial and non-financial applications as well too, because it uses a unique proof of stake consensus algorithm and offers fast transaction confirmation times. Algorand supports decentralized applications as well too, and its native cryptocurrency is called ALGO, ALGO, and by adopting the ISO standard, Algorand is going to enhance their compatibility with traditional financial systems along with all of the other projects to work seamlessly together. And so the keyword is interoperability. And so this move is going to foster massive adoption for Algorand's technology. And the key features is it can be used to send and receive payments quickly and easily, like the other projects. It can be used to create and deploy smart contracts as well too. It supports decentralized applications, and its proof of stake consensus mechanism makes it very energy efficient in contrast to Bitcoin, which requires a lot of energy. And if we look at Algorand's chart sitting at 16 cents right now, the all-time high for this project is over $3. And so it's far off away from its all-time high at about a 16x away from its all-time high. To do a 4.236, guys, that's a 6,000%. That's a 60x for Algorand. To do a 3.618, that's a 50x. That's 5,000% to go to $8. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Anything's possible because we need to work out from here. We just broke out of this descending resistance right here. So we see a breakout. We didn't see a back test, but we could see Algorand's price further bleed to the downside. And we could see something like a double bottom trend reversal, where we see this neckline right here at about 25 cents. And so I would expect if Bitcoin sells off and these rest of these altcoins to see a sell off, it doesn't mean you need to be jumping into them and buying them all right now because, this is for the future. Guys, this is for the course of the next 7 years till 2030. But I do think these will do well this bull run by the end of 2025. So 2024 is going to be a very volatile year. If you're looking to accumulate more crypto, you don't necessarily want to just be completely on the sidelines. I personally think it's riskier to be on the sidelines than it is to be in crypto right now. Even if we see, the prices fall a little bit lower, having some money on the sidelines is good. Having some money in crypto is smart. And then getting ready to back up the truck for the dip if we see Algorand drop further to the downside. The next resistance to the upside is about 40 cents from here. So it's over a 2x. This is where this resistance was for an extended period of time all the way back here from June until November. So for about 146 days, this is where I would expect the next stop for Algorand to be if we blast past the resistance of December of 2023. So definitely keep Algorand on your radar, guys. This project's going to do very, very well. And I'll do more deep dives into the technology, the tokenomics, because those videos take a lot more prepping. But I'm going to show you on the chart what I'm looking at. And Algorand's looking great. To do a 4.236, a 50 or 60x would be absolutely insane. The next project is Quant, QNT. Now, Quant is a blockchain platform focusing on interoperability. So you guys can kind of see the congruency of how all these projects are focusing on similar things. You know, the key features of Quant is the interoperability protocol, allowing different blockchains to communicate with each other. So they can handle a large number of transactions without sacrificing performance, and governed by a decentralized body of stakeholders as well too. So they have a strong community of developers and users that are continuing to grow. Now the chart hasn't been looking that exciting, but we can see this symmetrical triangle we just broke to the upside, and we're seeing a back test right now. So as you guys can see, a break right here, back test, further break to the upside, another back test right now, and we can also see this upward trending support right here on the macro. If we see a bounce off this, I would expect a major move to happen for Quant upwards of $200 to $220, which was the resistance back in October of 2022. Now let's draw the Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. Let's just see, based on price prediction, based on what the fibs are telling us, well, a 4.236 would be about $1,695, almost $1,700. A 3.618 would be $1,452. And so if I were to measure from where we are right now to go up to a 3.618, it's a 13x, 1,300%. To do a 4.236 is a 15x, 1,500%. And so Quant, I think, is going to do well. Obviously, I think something like an Algorand will outperform, and some other projects will outperform, but I do hold Quant in my portfolio as a basket of what I'm diversified into. Now the next altcoin on the list is Casper. Now Casper, or CSPR, is a proof of stake layer 1 blockchain, and what makes Casper different is it aims to differentiate itself from other layer 1 solutions by positioning itself as an exceptionally developer friendly and easy upgradable network. So Casper's marketing material, they frequently highlight the fact that, while there are 28 million developers worldwide in the online space, and then getting into Web3 with blockchain technology, only 300,000 are crypto native, and the project seeks to attract these non-crypto native developers by supporting what's called a WebAssembly code environment, as opposed to using proprietary coding language. And now WebAssembly, also known as WASM, I know some of you out there are thinking, what a freaking word, man, WASM. Different than a gasm, first appeared in 2017, is the result of an unprecedented collaboration between W3C, Google, Apple, Mozilla, and Microsoft, and as a result, has built its support in all major browsers for all platforms where there's no plugins required. And the network claims to be easily upgradable because Casper enables on-chain smart contracts to be directly upgraded, circumventing traditional drawbacks such as the need for complex ecosystem communication and migration processes. So where does Casper see itself going in the long term? Well, they've identified 4 macro trends. Number 1 would be tokenization. Number 2, ownership rights. Number 3, financial standards. And number 4 is the creator economy. And they're branding themselves as the future-proof blockchain for real-world adoption. Now, as you guys know, during the last bull run, NFTs were absolutely crazy. This bull run around, it's just too early right now. They're going to be making a wave here in the later stage of the bull run around 2025, in my opinion. But Casper's new NFT standard called the CEP78, it's allowing creators to upgrade their NFTs, which means, you're going to be able to update smart contracts easily, or if you're a developer. If you're not a developer, you don't have to worry about this, but without having to pay high gas fees, right? This is allowing creators to adopt a more flexible approach to their business models and applications. So NFTs and intellectual property rights are super important for NFT creators, because the people are thinking you're just copying and pasting or you're saving a JPEG image. That's why NFTs got a bad rap. But an unexpected match made in heaven, because Casper's partner with IPWE to issue patent rights as NFTs, allowing them to be verified, sold, and stored via a public blockchain. So intellectual property has traditionally been notoriously difficult to track and manage. Using blockchain infrastructure is going to make it more transparent, make it more simple and cost effective as a process for all these blockchain companies. And also, for those of you that are whiskey drinkers, Casper partnered with Metacast to modernize the high-end whiskey investment market. So for those of you out there that are whiskey drinkers, I probably got my whiskey drink over there in the corner. I like to drink some old fashions here and there. And so that's big. You guys can make a lot of money investing in whiskey too. We've been talking about coming out with some Bull Runners whiskey. Let me know if you guys think that would be cool. I know I mentioned a previous video talking about that, but Casper Labs leverages blockchain infrastructure to issue NFTs representing real whiskey casks, which is CASKS, which could then be traded on their NFT marketplace. In addition to providing a transparent and secure experience for investors, this allows MetaCask to reach a new generation of clients, as well as opening them up to new geographies. And so imagine an NFT marketplace for rare whiskey. Through this partnership, the Casper Labs team will assist in developing auction mechanics and other essential functions for the MetaCask platform. And MetaCask selected Casper Labs as its blockchain partner because of its superior performance, enterprise scalability, and operational costs, which compare favorably against traditional alternatives. And Casper's proof of stake model also has proven to be exceptionally energy efficient, with its annual electricity requirements chalking up to a fraction of the excess usage required by other enterprise level decentralized networks. And with crypto investors using blockchain technology more and more to buy real world tangible assets, the whiskey market is getting in that space as well too, which provides portfolio diversification and inflation resistant characteristics. Think about it this way, guys. When the prohibition was around, imagine investing in all these alcohol bottles. Like those of you guys that are wine drinkers, imagine investing in wine. Now imagine that going on to the NFT marketplace. So that is definitely a new industry that is going to be pioneered, and Casper is positioning themselves to be at the forefront of that. Now looking at Casper's price chart, we're sitting at 0.034, just short of 4 cents. We just completed a head and shoulders pattern. You can see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. We bottomed out here in October of 2023, and then we rallied up, and we're forming a much more macro symmetrical triangle right here. Now on the RSI, we're sitting at 35, so we're closer to oversold than we are to overbought, meaning that it's actually a pretty good time to be considering looking at Casper to add to your portfolio. Now don't buy it, don't sell it. Not financial advice. Again, guys, don't buy, don't sell any of these. I'm just showing you what these are, talking about the charts, and I'll be doing much more deep dives on each individual project that you want me to be talking about in future videos. So comment those below. Whichever ones you guys are bullish on, comment them below, and I'll do a much deep dive. But I'm just like glazing over these. I'm talking about the frosting here on what these are, and then we'll dive into why I'm so bullish on each of these in a video that will be like 15-20 minutes for each of them. Because if I were to do deep dives in an entire video for all these altcoins, it would take like 4 hours. I'm on a cruise ship. I don't have time to do that right now. I'll be doing that when I get back in Miami. And I know if you guys appreciate that, like this video. And so right now, look at this. The last time we were at 30 on the RSI was all the way down here back in October of 2023 when Casper was at 3 cents. The time before then, we were at like 0.038, and so the time before then was on the 17th of December. And so if we see another sell-off in the altcoin market, before Bitcoin's happening, we come back down to 30, I would expect us to bounce off this upward trending support line, which could be about 0.031, 0.032, and then for us to bounce from there. Now on this macro symmetrical triangle, 2024, I expect to be a volatile year for us to work our way inside of this triangle and then to break out from the all-time high. Where we are from the all-time high right now is we're about 84%. Now, when we look at TradingView here, we can see on BitGet, July of 2022 is when Casper launched on BitGet. There's probably another chart that goes back a little bit further, but if I were to just draw the Fibonacci retracement from the top of the head to the low from here, and we were to do a 4.236, that'd be 17 cents. A 3.618 is 15 cents. And so I think Casper could actually outperform a 4.236 because this bull run cycle is going to be, so the projects that are brand new or that haven't really seen a bull run of 2017 or 2021, those rallies, guys, these are going to be the projects that are going to absorb the majority of the liquidity. And I expect Casper to be one of those projects. Now, the next project is Tectum. I made a video about this a few days ago that you guys want to go watch. It's about 15 minutes and 21 seconds. And I talked about how Tectum, is faster than virtually every other blockchain out there. And the reason why you want to watch this video is because they're going to be hosting a world's record competition for the fastest blockchain, which I think is cool because why wouldn't these projects line up against each other and prove it like in a race? During gladiatorial times, or whatever you call that, Roman times, or these gladiators would get together and they would, prove their worth. In this time, in this day and age, UFC is how they do that. Well, in the blockchain space, these projects need to line up in the ring and they need to duke it out and see who's actually faster, and they need to prove it on a global stage. So the fact that Tectum is planning to do that, I think is going to be amazing. Now, looking at the chart right here, it's sitting at $28. The RSI is neither overbought or oversold right now. It's sitting right in the middle at about 51. Now, the real key here to understand is anything above 70 is obviously overbought. Anything below 30 is oversold. Anything in the middle, you just hold. A lot of people ask me, how did they get these projects? So for example, if I type in Tectum here in the upper right, TET is the ticker. And if you guys look at the market cap of this project, it's sitting at $142 million market cap. So a lot of these projects I know are larger cap projects. So for those of you guys that are looking for the mid caps or the low cap projects that we're going to be talking about on our channel, make sure you go to bullrunners.com, subscribe to our video newsletter if you want to see the altcoins that we're the most bullish on before we make videos about them. And also you want to subscribe to our video newsletter to get breaking news updates, because we give you the best information to help you prepare for the worst that's yet to come in this economy. And crypto is going to be that wave where money is going to flow over the next few years. And so when we click on markets right here, you guys can see the exchanges. So all you do is you type in the token or the coin, you go to markets right here next to chart, and it'll load up, and you'll see based on liquidity or volume in the past 24 hours. So as you can see, Uniswap has the highest volume in 24 hours. It trades TET to wrapped Ethereum. And so then MEXC is the next, BitGet is the next, then Bitmart, and then a few others right here. So Ethereum, going to be massive, very easy. If you guys don't know how to use Uniswap, there's a tutorial out there on our channel somewhere, or if you just go on YouTube, you type in how to use Uniswap. It's really, really simple. You just need Ethereum, and then you can trade for a lot of these projects. Now, if you don't have a link to any of these exchanges right here, then you're going to want to choose which exchange you would want to trade on based on the trading volume. Like I wouldn't go and I wouldn't trade on one of these exchanges that has less than $100,000, let alone $500,000 in trading volume for some of these. If you're dealing with mid-cap projects, like if you're dealing with a mid-cap or a large cap, you want these exchanges to have over $1 million in 24-hour trading volume. If you want a full breakdown on what Tectum is, go watch my previous video on that. Now, the next project on the list is Chainlink. And here's a quick clip from Chainlink's official YouTube channel. If you guys want to go subscribe to that, they need some help. They're only at 64,000 subscribers. And if you guys want to subscribe to our channel, do that right now. But watch this clip right here.
The Chainlink network offers a solution to the age-old problem: garbage in, garbage out, which means that an application can only produce high-quality results with high-quality data. Chainlink provides decentralized applications with the definitive truth about the external world, so they can trigger reliable, real-world outcomes. You have probably heard how blockchain-based smart contract applications will change the way the world exchanges value and facilitates agreements. But there is a problem. A blockchain security is derived from a decentralized network of independent validators who purposefully limit their connection to the outside world. To securely retrieve data from the outside world, smart contracts require an additional piece of infrastructure known as an oracle. The data that controls smart contracts needs to meet the highest possible standards, because it will directly control billions and eventually trillions of dollars in value. But what if you could leverage the same decentralized computation guarantees used to secure the blockchain to securely retrieve and validate the data smart contracts require? Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle network that provides smart contracts a tamper-proof and highly available connection to all of the world's highest quality data feeds. With Chainlink, a smart contract can access data pertaining to financial markets, cryptocurrency prices, weather, sports results, IoT sensor readings, and any other real-world validated data needed to enable more robust and useful blockchain-based applications. Chainlink provides the definitive truth about the real world for high-value smart contract applications for any blockchain network, securely connecting the world's existing infrastructure to the emerging blockchain infrastructure that aims to redefine it.
So Chainlink is a blue chip project that the majority of the whales and the institutional investors and the VCs are backing up the truck for, and smart retail investors like yourself are learning about it and seeing why Chainlink is so powerful as the king of oracles. And so as you guys can see here in the Wyckoff accumulation schematic on where we are, we're breaking into phase 4 as we're breaking out. We're sitting at $18.70. The price might be different when you're watching this video based on how long this takes to get uploaded and distributed out there in the algorithm. That's why you guys want to like these videos. subscribe to the channel and check these out before they go out there. But the Wyckoff accumulation is basically showing that Chainlink is on the verge of a massive breakout, because we went from this markdown phase, you can see, then you have phase B, this massive consolidation. We broke out of the spring, we go into, the markup phase, and then phase 3 right here that you can see in yellow, where we consolidated sideways. The next stage after that is phase E for point number 4. And so where I would expect Chainlink to rally to next is right around $25 before we see any sort of other consolidation period where we do choppy sideways trading action. Because what I look for on these charts, guys, is obviously I look at the MACD, I look at the stochastic RSI, and then I look at the RSI, and I see when we see a massive breakout, I don't buy these massive breakouts. I buy before we break out, where we've been consolidating for an extended period of time sideways. So for example, Chainlink had consolidated sideways for like 500 days. We were down here at like $6. So I was like, maybe it's time to buy some Chainlink. It's been 500 days consolidating sideways. We're at $6 right here. Also, all I do is I just type in RSI, click relative strength index. It adds the indicator. And as you can see, where were we on the RSI? And we were down here at about $6. We were at 30 on the RSI. We were in oversold conditions all the way down here back in August of 2023. So yes, I had to be patient, knowing that if I bought, this was my mindset at this time. I guys want you to fully understand this, so when you're looking at these projects, you can adopt the same mindset if it's productive for your portfolio, okay? And I'll let you decide if it's productive for your portfolio based on this logic right here, all right? My mindset at that time was, if I buy Chainlink at $6 while the RSI is sitting all the way down here back in August of 2023 at 31, if I buy it and it goes lower and we dip down below 30, am I okay with holding through that volatility, knowing that eventually we're going to reverse on the RSI and we're going to go up? Well, sure enough, 38 days later, we're up 35%. Now I had a choice there. Okay, do I take some profits? Do I sell at a 35%? Of course not. I'm not selling at a 35% gain, right? Let's say, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly how much I put into Chainlink, but it was a good chunk of change here, good enough to create generational wealth, this bull run. But 35%, not interested in that. I'll be selling in 2025. Now, 38 days later, over a month, it's up 35%, and then we crash down a little bit. We go down to $7. What am I going to do? I accumulated more. Now, the RSI was at 50, but we reversed from here, and we were getting ready to break out into, phase E for this Wyckoff accumulation, and getting ready to pass these, resistance lines that you can see in yellow right here. And so we rallied up all the way to $16. So we're up 170%. Now, I could have taken some profits right here, because the RSI was all the way upwards of 85, and that would have proven to be a smart decision if I wanted to rotate that into something else. So I could play this multiple ways here, where I could, sell based on the RSI on the daily, meaning when you click here on the upper left, you can see link, you see this little plus, and then you see the candles right here, where you can click based on, minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months. I click on 1 day, when in doubt, zoom out, and I see where we are on the RSI. So down here, we're at 30, 31. So I'm like, I'll buy some Chainlink. Why not? Up here, I can get into more details in our inner circle group on what I'm doing and what trades I'm making. If you guys are interested in that and you want to join our, inner circle, you can go to bullrunners.com. But I'm just sharing publicly, what these projects are all about. If I'm bullish on them, I'll let you know what I do hold. And that doesn't mean that you should hold it. It's just that what I'm holding, because as you guys know, 90% of people plus lose money in crypto, and most people lose everything because, they lack the emotional intelligence. And I know you have emotional intelligence to know, when to hold, when to buy, when to sell. You just need to refine your skills, okay? You need to refine your skills and maybe stop letting your emotions get the best of you at times, okay? I know we all get there sometimes. I'm there sometimes where I'm like, my emotions are running high up here. I'm like, oh, I should buy more. I should buy more. That's how my emotions get, right? I'm like, I need to buy more because it's rallying, right? I'm up 100+% on Chainlink. I'm like, it's at $16. But then I look at the RSI and we're sitting here at 85. I'm like, not a smart move, man. Don't buy any more, because then we consolidated sideways for 82 days. So almost 3 months. Now we're breaking out again. And so the next move for Chainlink is going to be massive. It's going to be rapid. And then we're going to consolidate sideways for an extended period of time. So if we see a breakout for the total 3 or total 2, which is all altcoins excluding Bitcoin for total 2, and we see a breakout, we'll most likely see Chainlink rally up really fast, maybe to $25, maybe higher. We'll see where it goes, probably $25. If we go up to the all-time high, that'd be awesome. But when we rally up, then we consolidate sideways for an extended period of time. And depending if we see a deeper correction from Bitcoin, we see either a pullback or we see a continuation to the upside. But we see these breakouts followed by consolidation periods for an extended period of time. And so you watch the RSI. When you see a breakout and you see the RSI go above 70, you're not buying in. What you're waiting for is these long extended consolidation periods, and then for the RSI to be down closer to 30 to accumulate any project. That's the blueprint. Very simple, guys. Very, very simple. A lot of you can trade based on the RSI, and you'll find it to be a very profitable strategy for yourself long term on the daily candles. Now, if you're trading on like the 1 hour, the 15 minutes, and you're trading based on the RSI long term, that's not feasible. You want to zoom out. So macro, 1 day to the 1 month. Like if I click on the 1 month, and let me just clear this, my sloppy drawings here, you guys will see on the 1 month, we're at 64 right now. And so, I personally feel that we're going to go higher for Chainlink in this bull run, but we're not above 70. So it's not time to take profits yet, in my opinion, for the long term. Now, it's not the best time to buy. Obviously, the best time to buy was when I was accumulating at $6 and $8 down here, or when even smarter people than me that have even more skill in crypto, or not even skill, they were just here earlier than everybody else. They were accumulating down here at like 17 cents, before the RSI was even registering on the monthly chart for Coinbase, because this is Chainlink to the US dollar on Coinbase. It didn't even register back here on the RSI. So you just had to like kind of be guessing here and believe in the technology and the team and their vision for the future. Because all these projects back here, guys, like 2017, 2018, that had a big vision for the future. Nobody knew which ones would be able to pull it off. Like, sure, you can go back now and you can look at Apple and Microsoft and be like, yeah, I would have invested in those companies. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have known. Steve Jobs is in his garage making computers. You're like, yeah, I'm going to invest $1 million into that guy. That homeless looking dude in his garage with a band of, acid taking rebels, right? All these LSD popping, Woodstock looking computer nerds. Yeah, I'm going to invest my life savings in that company. Of course you wouldn't. So nobody knew. Just like in blockchain tech, nobody knows what projects are going to be, the Apples, the Microsofts, the Teslas, the Googles, or the Amazons of this era. But now that Chainlink has proven their use case, they've proven the utility, one of the most bullish projects in the crypto space, and we have yet to breach above 70. Now, when we breach above 70, that's when we're going to be close to the all-time high or higher for Chainlink. And so I do think it'll do well. Now, the next project, guys, is Internet Computer. And so Internet Computer was a dark horse. This project is a set of protocols that allows independent data centers around the world to band together and offer a decentralized alternative to the current centralized internet cloud providers. Now, the ICP token is used for governance, where holders can vote on the future of the network to reward network participants for good behavior. It's used to pay fees for making transactions, and like a lot of projects in the crypto space, the Internet Computer Protocol is much more than a form of digital money. In fact, the ICP token can be purchased and traded via exchanges, like Coinbase is just one part of a much bigger idea, because ICP's basic idea is to create a new kind of decentralized internet and global computing system where independent data centers all over the world could join together to create an alternative to the cloud services from companies like Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud that power most of the current internet. ICP's plan is to have the protocol running on millions of computers around the world. And ICP's developers say the resulting network has some key advantages over centralized alternatives. For one, it operates via open standards and avoids the conflict of interest that can arise when a major cloud computing provider hosts products that compete with its own services. So originally, called Definity, ICP's goal is distributed network of data centers that can run all of the applications that are accessible via traditional internet standards such as DNS servers, the domain name systems you use via web browsers and smartphones. Like if you're going on .com or .org or .whatever, you're going through a GoDaddy, Namecheap, HostGator or whatever domain service, somebody bought that through. Now, if Dfinity pulls off this vision, guys, I think ICP is going to be another dark horse alongside Chainlink and XRP. I think it's going to perform very, very well. And the last bull run, a lot of people called it a scam. A lot of people said that it was a junk project because of the massive manipulation, but those people were brand new to crypto. They didn't understand that Sam Bankman-Fried was manipulating a lot of stuff, manipulating Bitcoin, manipulating Ethereum, manipulating Solana, manipulating a lot of projects, and specifically Solana. So they used money from ICP to pump Solana, and they sold off ICP, and they even pumped ICP, and that's why the price chart shows it upwards of $2,700 on launch, which is drastically overvalued, but that was right at the peak of the bull run, or after the peak of the bull run. So all that money from the bull run, they just used and pumped into ICP and made money on the launch. And so a lot of people said that the project's a scam for that. No, Sam Bankman-Fried is the scammer. And so every industry has these sketch balls that jump into the industry and they get world known as the world's most generous billionaire, and then they manipulate a lot of stuff, and then those projects have to take the brunt of the media storm for that, the hailstorm. So ICP is bouncing back from that. And I talked about this in a previous video, and I said, this is most likely what's going to happen next when we broke out from this descending resistance. We could see a back test and we could hold it as support, but eventually we're going to break out from here. Now, we saw just that the only thing that I was wrong about was the back test. We didn't even back test it. We didn't even come back down to this downward trending resistance as support and bounce off of it. We just worked our way up and we broke on out of here. And so I was accumulating ICP down at $3 to $5 on this breakout. That's what I was accumulating, even knowing that it could potentially backtest, but most likely break out from here. And so we rallied all the way upwards of $15, and now we're just consolidating sideways. And so where are we on the RSI? Well, we are at about 60 on the RSI. So we're not in the best possible position, right? What I would like to see is another back test of this horizontal support right here, which acted as resistance back in February of 2023, April of 2023, also August of 2022. We did kind of wick off of the upper echelon of this resistance at about like $9.60, but I would hope for a deeper pullback to like $8 if I want to accumulate more ICP, because then I think we break on out of here. But I do think ICP is just gonna see a breakout here soon, guys. We're gonna go up, and there's no guarantee there. That's just my thoughts, right? But ICP gonna absolutely crush it, and we're gonna see billions of dollars flow into this project, this bull run. Now, my price target for ICP is a little different than most people, because we have to draw the Fibonacci retracement tool from the high of these projects and look at where that high was for ICP. So that high was roughly September of 2021. We can't go to the launch high because that was manipulated by Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda Research, and FTX crap that happened. So I would draw from right here to the low, and we were to see a 3.618 is $300. A 4.236 is $367. So I'm expecting like $100 to $200. I'm not expecting 4.236, although that would be nice. I'm expecting up here somewhere. And so from where we are right now, what percentage would that be? If we were to go to $150, that's about a 10x. If we were to go to $230, it's a 16x. If we were to do a full extension from here, guys, that's 2,600%. That's a 26x. So I do think ICP is going to be one of the best large caps this bull run cycle, and that's why it's one of the largest positions in my portfolio. Now, if you guys made it to this stage in the video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to play this really quick because this is what's going to determine when these altcoins take off next.
Bitches in the future?
Bitcoin is the future.
Yeah, that's it.
So for the people that are saying Bitcoin is the future, guys, this is what's going to move the markets right here. So what we need to look at is Bitcoin's liquidation heat map and see if we scroll out on the 6 month or the 1 year where most of the leverage traders have their positions at. And as you can see down here, $34,000, there's 8 billion in leverage. And so as we rally up in the short term for Bitcoin, what I'm expecting to happen next is to see a much deeper pullback. Now, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be so happy to be wrong, right? A lot of people don't get happy when they're wrong. I'm happy when I'm wrong, when I'm bearish, because I look at data, and when the charts prove me otherwise and it completely goes against what's the most likely case scenario, that makes me happy if we're going up, right? And if we go down, I'm excited too, because I can at least accumulate more. But the data is showing that we still have a lot of leverage trading down here to the downside at $34,000. And so to wipe this off the table, Bitcoin would need to go to like $31,000, $32,000 to wipe this all off the table. And so this would be some sort of shakeout event. Now, what would cause this shakeout event? We'll see. We're in election year. We have Bitcoin's halving coming up, which is generally bullish after Bitcoin's halving. So we have elections, Bitcoin's halving. We also have the Fed potentially cutting interest rates. And so lots of stuff is going to happen this year that it's going to be crazy to see. And so we just have to be here to ride the ride. So I'm just holding through all of it, right? So if we see like a 30% correction or 40% correction before Bitcoin's halving or before the election, cool, whatever, man. My thesis is that we're still going up in the long term, because the macro market cycles, all data leads to a bull run right now. All data is leading to a bull run. And do you think that the elite going into the election, especially the politicians, would want the markets to crash before then? Do you think they're going to get reelected? Of course not. They're going to want to pump the markets up so it makes it look like the economy's doing very, very well. They're going to pump the stock market. They're going to pump all the tech stocks. They're going to pump the crypto market. They're going to pump altcoins. They're going to load up their bags because they can. Because the Federal Reserve can print as much money as they want. But you know what that's going to lead to? A much bigger, nastier crash on the horizon. And so all we can do is position ourselves before that happens and know when to exit the markets before the crash takes place. Now, obviously, knowing exactly when the crash is going to happen is tough, but we can look at key indicators such as the Bitcoin stock to flow model to see where we are in the macro and then in the micro. So, for example, if we zoom in here, based on the days until Bitcoin's halving, we have less than 80 days left, and it's at the early of May, end of April for Bitcoin's halving to take place. And so we're dark blue turning into purple. Now, looking at the last bull run cycle, when we were dark blue going into purple, we saw a rally up happen before COVID. So the last bull run cycle shows that a black swan event, massive sell-off could be coming before Bitcoin's halving. The cycle before then, when we went from dark blue to purple, we saw a rally up. Okay, so right here, rally up, then sell off into Bitcoin's halving, consolidate, then we go out of there. The cycle before then, rally up, sell off into Bitcoin's halving, consolidate, then we break out of here. The cycle before then, rally up before Bitcoin's halving, going into purple, a sell off, consolidate, then we break out of here. So if this has happened every single bull run cycle, well, what's going to happen here? We could see a rally up, a sell off, consolidate, then break out of here. That's what I'm expecting. Now, how high are we going to rally up on the price chart for Bitcoin is anyone's guess, but right now we're seeing a breakout as Bitcoin breaks out in the short term for a total 2. And so we're at $800 billion market cap. Now, I talked about this, how we're going to waddle around within this range of this disbelief stage for an extended period of time, potentially backtest this support zone multiple times. We saw backtest, boom, right here. We saw backtest right here. We saw backtest right here. We saw backtest right here. So we've seen 4 back tests, of this zone of support. And so arguably we could be done with the back test. We could come back one more time. It's anyone's guess. But the next step, guys, is a breakout. So for anyone to say that like, oh, you thought we were going to go down, now we're going up. Guys, I've been telling you what's going to happen. We're going up. So how long does it take for us to consolidate sideways before we go up from here? I don't know. Nobody knows. But the next step is a breakout, is a massive breakout. Whether that happens Q4 of 2024, before Bitcoin's halving, 3 months after Bitcoin's halving, 6 months after Bitcoin's halving, it's anyone's guess. So you might as well go to your microwave, put some popcorn in the microwave, and just snackaroo for a little bit. Take a little nap, okay? And focus on generating passive income. The next stop for the total 2, which is the crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, is about $1 trillion right here, which is the middle of this range of this complacency stage that we might take a little pit stop at. So I would expect us, if we don't back test this one more time and see some sort of, much deeper shakeout event before breaking out of here, I would expect us to break above this and come back down to back test it and consolidate at it before we break higher. I would expect something like this to play out. Okay. Now, whether we see a much deeper correction in the short term before Bitcoin's halving or not will be dependent on the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, depending on if something breaks in the economy. If there's bank runs, though, that's going to lead to money flowing into crypto. So it's riskier right now to be on the sidelines than it is to be in crypto, even if we do see a much deeper correction. I mean, from where we are right now, if we see a 30% correction, we're coming back down to $500 billion. If that's a 30% correction, not a big deal. I mean, if we were to draw this upward trending support line right here from the low of December 2022, we could even see something like this play out where we see the altcoin market, like this breakout could potentially be a fake out if this were to happen. And we see some sort of black swan event to bring us back down here. And then we work out from here going into 2025. If we saw this take place, and this rally right now is just to spook everyone to buy into the markets, and then, all of a sudden something breaks in the economy, the Fed starts cutting interest rates the next few months. I'm not expecting this, guys. The only thing that I would expect is just to pull back right here to the support for us to hold it, then to break higher. I don't expect us to come down here, but best believe if it happens, I'm prepared to back up the truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave. No bags left behind, because the spending power of the dollar going down in value, that's a fact. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and crypto is going up in interest. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com, where you'll discover our top altcoin picks first before we make videos, and you'll get early bird access to our financial education platform when that's released. So click the button right now. Don't be late. Be great. Put in your best email address. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll also see you on the beaches of the moon. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.